I hope you had a great weekend. I hope you're having a great and restful Sunday. Well, over last week, we had this global challenge where we went off sugar, we went off junk food, we went off processed food. When we talk about sugar, we spoke about all kinds of refined sugar. Some people chose to eat jaggery and some people chose to consume raw, unpasteurized honey. Well, I want to share the results over this 1 week. We finished about 7 days on the sugar-free challenge, and we've had over 1 million people from across the globe participate in this challenge. And the testimonials that have been coming in is fantastic. Only by giving up white sugar for 7 days. If you follow us on Instagram and Facebook, you'll see the amount of testimonials of people's results. By just giving up white sugar, junk food, and processed food, people have found that their energy levels have improved. People have even reported some amount of fat loss. I don't know about that, but sometimes, if you're constantly bloated and you're constantly acidic, only by reducing your white sugar and your junk food, that bloating could disappear. And a lot of people are bloated and they think they're fat. A lot of people are bloated and they think they've put on weight, but they're just bloated with gas and water retention. We have more testimonials about how people's addiction to caffeine and tea has literally disappeared. Now, what we've noticed on the pattern of testimonials coming in, day 1 was a little bit difficult for people who were consuming a lot of sugar and junk food. Day 2 was difficult. By day 3, people figured that it was easy to give it up. By day 4, people had absolutely no cravings. And now there's a science behind this. Why does this work this way? Because we need to believe in the principle that a clean body craves clean food. A clean body craves wholesome food and natural food. So the more toxic our body is, how do we get toxic? With the more salt, more sugar, more chemicals from the junk food that we eat, our bodies become more toxic, and then we build this vicious cycle of cravings, and we keep craving more toxic food. But as the body started getting cleaner and cleaner, even by day 3, when sugar was reduced, people's addiction started decreasing more and more. There are people today saying that we don't even want to break the sugar-free, which is why our challenge for next week is we're going to continue the sugar-free, junk-free, and process-free for another 7 days and look at, what can happen in the human body. The beauty is we've had children doing this from the age of 4 onwards, 3 onwards. Parents have been encouraging their children and as families to join into the sugar-free challenge. It's that simple. If we want to make a change in our children, we need to lead by example. We can't tell our children to get off sugar and junk if we continue doing the same thing. We have teachers across different schools who have made their classes also join into the sugar-free and the junk-free program. And that's how we make a change in health, and that's how we make a change in the world, one person at a time. So if you've done the sugar-free challenge, it's your time. It's your turn right now to influence and inspire someone else. And we're going to run this on for another week. There are some people who failed, some people who cheated in between. I wouldn't say cheated, they gave into their cravings. That's fine. Just get back onto track the next day. If you fail tomorrow, there's another day, the next day, to wake up and get back on track. Just because you fail once doesn't mean you just drop out of the challenge and you go back to your old habits. But the beauty is, people are now not using willpower to fight sugar cravings. Their bodies just don't crave for it anymore. And this is an example to us of exactly how dangerous white sugar is. How dangerous it is and how addictive it is, and that's why it's been categorized literally and compared to some of the top drugs in the world. So am I trying to say that you should get off sugar for a lifetime? No. When we do these challenges, it's an example for us to see how our bodies respond when we're cleaner and cleaner. So yep, you can enjoy a little bit of sugar and your desserts in moderation. But the moment we start making it into a daily habit, our bodies start getting more and more toxic, and we end up with all of these health problems, feeling sluggish. I had people from corporate offices mention how how their energy levels have improved by giving up sugar. And the same people who have gotten off coffee and tea. There's nothing wrong with coffee and tea. Have 1 or 2 cups in a day, that's fine. But when you find that you need caffeine to get through your entire day, you know that your body's telling you you are fatigued, you are tired, and you are toxic. So it is extremely important for us to understand that yes, we can do it. Most people never dreamt they could be off sugar for more than 1 or 2 days, and today they've done it for an entire week. So what does it take? A little bit of self-discipline, a little bit of effort, a little bit of dedication, and a little bit of belief in yourself that you can be bigger and more powerful than this white powder called sugar. So once in a way, we should go sugar-free for about 7 to 8 days, clean out your entire body, and then bring it back slowly into your system. A lot of people who enjoyed their tea and coffee switched on to adding jaggery in place of sugar in their coffee and tea. And that is absolutely fine, because jaggery doesn't have chemicals if you're getting the chemical-free version, and it is not refined like white sugar. Some people use stevia, some people use raw unpasteurized honey. That doesn't matter. That comes to us from nature, and it's absolutely natural. So what we're going to do is take this challenge through the next 7 days and see how far we can go. There are a lot of people who had weddings and social functions as well, but they still came back saying that they had a great time at the function without the requirement of sugar. So sugar is that ingredient that makes parties more interesting and makes weddings more interesting. We got to change our mindset. You can still have a great time. You can still have a social life. You can still have a fantastic time with your friends and family. You don't need sugar to create that happiness for you. So in moderation, let's move on to the next week's challenge. Exactly the same thing. For another 7 days, we stay off white sugar, we stay off processed food, we stay off junk food. Have a great evening, everyone. Inspire more and more of your friends and families to get into this. You know, when you have a group of friends doing this together, or the family as a whole adopts the challenge, it's easier because you'll are there to motivate one another, and you'll are there to inspire one another. Until next time, eat smart, move more, sleep right, and breathe deep.